Now I'm going to discuss this situation that got placed. Me and this specific individual, he was wearing a Bronco shirt, and me and this other dude, I'm not going to name any names, but he knows who he is, and he was wearing a Broncos shirt, and I was wearing this. Well, in doing that, he told me, so, did you ever sleep with my lady? And I was like, you gotta be fucking tripping. And I was like, bro, I ain't fucking tripping. And this almost got turned, and this situation almost got turned up in the streets. And I know where he was from, and it almost got turned into a fucking thing. And so it almost came out to a situation, but he did tell me. He says, if I ever see you wearing that, I'm catching you. I'm gonna catch the ones with you, and I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I hate the 49ers. The 49ers are trash to me, and I will murk you. And so, I thought to myself, I was like, okay. And this dude was like 16, 17. And I'm like, so I told that dude, I was like, hey, listen, bro, you don't know me from Adam, and I mean, I don't care if you want to get down. And the motherfucker decided to pull out a pistol. He says, I'll die for my Broncos. You've been hella disrespectful, and I live out here in Pueblo, Colorado. And I was like, yeah, that's cool, but I still ride for my Niners. He says, but I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to give you this fucking warning. If I ever catch you out here making foul disrespectful marks about the Broncos, I will catch you. I will literally catch you. And I have no... There is no... There's going to be no foul play. I'm going to start tripping. And I don't care if I have to kill you. And so I'm just like, this dude is like tripping over a fucking damn t-shirt. Over a goddamn t-shirt. And he told me, he says, I watch your videos. But, if I respect you and all, but don't make any foul marks about the Broncos, because I will get down. And I told him, I says, I'm not gonna go down like that. I'll still be representing my 49ers. But that whole situation was between me and Sev Cisneros. And he told me, he says, I don't care about that. But the day that you made a disrespectful mark about the Broncos, I have no choice to trip and slide. Whatever you and Sev have beef with, that's a whole different situation. But he told me his age. He was like 16. He says, I don't care. But if I ever see you walking around out here in Pueblo, and I told him, I says, I won't go down. I'll hold my own if it has to be. but I will not play long. I will not take. And he disrespected me, and he says, if you ever decide to, if I ever do some tagging, and he made it out to be a fucking thing. He made it out to be a fucking thing. Between this whole situation, and he wants to make this big ass fucking deal about me because I was joking around with Sev Cisneros. But this other individual, he wants to trip and slide and get activated because he's down for his Broncos, and he takes the shit personal. And he's only fucking 16, and I'm just like, I'm sitting here contemplating to risk it, or should I, or if this dude's really fully activated with this shit and actually wants to get down and let it be known to be a thing. I grew up in the projects, okay? I'm a project baby. The San Isabel projects. A lot of people know about those projects. Well, hood that used to be around at one time. So I hold my own. Now this dude that's fucking 16 though wants to trip, wants to turn into a thing. I'm not gonna. If I ever say that, dude, we can get at it. I don't give a fuck. Whatever. If this dude's tripping, and if he catches me, I'm down. I'm down to slide. I'm down to get activated. But I'm done with this shit.